Yeah, you like that intro, Enzo? I added you there.
Hell yeah. I feel like I'm finally part of the team.
You've made it, Ma. You've made it.
I did it.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Diabolical Souls Presents as we do Blue Eye Samurai Review, episode number 7. And this one is called Nothing Broken. And we'll be reviewing that. But first, I want to say a quick hello to everyone out there to 2024. Thanks you for joining us. And to my right on your screen is Amateur Analyst. How you doing, buddy? How was your New Year's?
Good, doing well. New year, new me, and all that.
Nice.
Lots of life goals.
Yeah.
No, not really. But yeah, excited to jump into it. We're almost done, eh? There's only one more after this.
God.
One more, and then we jump into Arcane at the end of the month. We'll be doing Arcane.
Cool.
And
You want to hear something kind of funny?
hmm.
I had to take my Aunt Helen to chemo. That's not the funny part, obviously. And she didn't get to go to chemo because she fell, and they took her to the emergency room. Again, none of this is funny. But the funny part is I might not have been able to make it tonight, and it would have been crazy if you put me and my name in the introduction finally, and I didn't. I was like, hey, I can't, dude. My Aunt Helen, she got luckily she didn't get injured. She was able to go home, but yeah.
Oh, you'd be out. There's no excuse. No, you'd
I'd be
out.
like, hey, I can't. Oh yeah, just like just use the old intro. There you go, easy fix.
Well, Enzo, thank you for joining us, buddy.
Of course,
part of the crew here. How was
Aunt Helen's good, in case anyone's wondering.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that. I do want to say I've never laughed so hard in my life on Monday when I was on your show and we were doing that Jackbox. Was it Jackbox TV?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was in tears. My face hurt the next day. I was just like, oh my God.
Definitely do it again. Yes, I love it stuff. We used to play. That's how I kind of got back into streaming on YouTube, because I started doing this shit on Facebook. And then this is like before the quarantine. And then the quarantine happened and my Facebook channel kind of exploded. But it's like my personal Facebook page. So it's just like my friends and stuff. But like everyone's like wondering, like, when's the next Monday show? What are we going to talk about? Tiger King. And then I kind of, quarantine stopped happening. I moved to YouTube and streamed sporadically. And then, I don't know, early this year, the reason why I decided to kick it off 2023 was because previously my cousin and his friend were just playing Jackbox like every Sunday night on Twitch. He was streaming on Twitch. And again, it was just stupid. And also the Rift Tracks game. I'm going to buy that thing. So that'll be fun too. The Rift Tracks game, in case you guys aren't familiar.
No, I don't know that one.
I don't know.
Super good ad-libbing game. So
yeah,
thank you for coming. It was
no, thanks for inviting me. I like seriously had a great time. I was not only was I laughing at like the stupidity of our answers, but like watching Blue Collar like trying to hold it together and laughing so hard. I was just like,
oh man, I
can't even look in his direction.
He's used to drinking cordials and liqueurs, and now he's switched to like literally Irish Scotch. So it's like,
I was contemplating asking if I could come on, but I was so drunk by the time the show went live that I was like, I don't know if I can.
Always come on, man.
I was gonna fall asleep,
especially
snoring against my microphone.
Because even if you could pop in and out on a Jackbox stream, that's fine. But like I said, I'm gonna start paying for StreamYard, so I'll get more than 6 guests. I can get the coveted 10 people or 8 or whatever the hell it is. I don't care. Anyway,
yeah.
On with the show.
Quick question. I always wanted to ask you guys: do you prefer being on the side or on top? And I know phrasing.
I know Enzo's the bottom. But
I like to put us on the bottom, but sometimes it obscures something in the frame, so I have to put us on the side. But top was like so unique to this channel, being on top, and it's also just you never get to be on top on these StreamYard layout. It's fun.
There you
also,
go.
the reason it's cool because we get the screen maximum width, what we're seeing, and also like unlike what I used to do is like our little avatars aren't like sitting in front of the bottom like Mystery Science Theater style.
Yeah.
So this is a good layout, honestly.
Thanks. Welcome, Gemalama. Thanks for joining us, sir, bro. Edwin, thanks for joining us, Edwin. And also Watomi, thank you for joining it, bro. You came in late I think it was last night when I was streaming. I had Lance Nielsen on. It was a great interview, great guy. I really like Lance a lot. He's a great guy. So
Lance is cool.
Yeah, Lance is very cool.
I listened to y'all's interview today when I was running
Oh.
around.
Oh, thanks. So we're going to start off with this episode 7, Nothing Broken. Actually, did we miss the intro? No, not yet. We start off with
we got Ringo here.
Yes, thank you.
Picking up the corpses of our main characters after the end of the last episode. If you remember, they had just jumped out of a burning building into a sheet of ice, off a cliff, at least 30 stories, through the ice into the water, and like I said, you cut to black, and then the next scene you just have them coughing on the beach, and everything's fine.
I would say the last episode was probably the weakest, one of the weaker episodes of the whole show. This episode is one of the stronger ones. It's back to the Game of Thrones style, like writing and plotting and scheming.
Yeah, Akemi. Yeah, you get a lot of Akemi. You get a lot of Abijah Fowler, and
also a lot of good nuance and stuff in this episode, especially with Ringo.
I did like episode 6 just because, like, from the animation point of view, like, the story, whatever. It's kind of weird.
It's just the weakest on a writing standpoint. But 6 is wild, you know.
200 feet on ice.
6 was reminding me of like Fist of the North Star and old school like crazy shit, you know.
Well, Jama Lama, thank you guys for hosting. I love talking about the show. If you want to come on for the last episode for a little bit,
we got one more.
We can invite you on, buddy. If you want to jump in, it'll be open to anyone. We'll put the link out there for people who want to jump in, put on their, rate it out of 10, give their thoughts. Last week will be the finale, so
cool.
Don't know how much having a hole in your foot affects swimming.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Like, this is like immediately after, and I didn't even notice that rewatching this episode. Like, she technically should have a hole in her foot this whole episode. But she doesn't really do much. I mean, she right? There's not a whole lot of
So last episode, I chalk it up to being one of those, turn off your brain, just watch the action and just enjoy. It's like I just watched The Running Man the other night. It's like you're not watching it for the story; you're watching it for the action.
Sub-Zero.
Well, it's pure spectacle. Like, they even like half the time she's on drugs, and they're just
But I'm realizing, like, even if she does have a gaping hole in her foot, like, it really shouldn't change anything from this episode. It's not like she does anything crazy, like, running around or anything in this episode. So it makes sense.
Now Abijah's got the gaping hole.
Oh my god!
I do also want to quickly mention that there is a season 2 that was announced, and the writers Amber and Michael Green, they announced that they have like 3 or 4 seasons.
That's what I heard from. There's this YouTuber that does storyboards, or he did storyboards for the show, and he was saying that they are already sort of like not fully approved seasons to be released, but they're like, it's basically like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, keep making seasons, 3 and 4, because they'll probably get approved.
Yeah.
But that's sort of the rumor going forward right now.
So getting back to this, we Amateur said that Ringo's, coming back to, we're coming full circle right back to the Swordmaker's lodge here and asking for help. No one was answering the door. He actually said, I don't know if they're dead or not. Like, I'm
afraid to look.
Like, so innocent, eh? And then the sword falls and makes that sound, and the sword maker opens up the door.
The meteor sword.
The one thing I do want to get to, I think I might have skipped it here. This part right here. We always talk about, I always talk about this, the color scheme that they do for the intros. Last week was like, like a blend of colors, like it was just in and out of blues and reds and blacks, and it was just like showing that there was an intense action episode. This one's white with the blue, and then this little avatar down here, I'm trying to wrap my hand around it. I don't know what that one represents.
I know what it means.
Oh, you do? Okay, speak it.
It's Abijah's hands spreading his cheeks. He's grabbing his cheeks. He's getting ready to. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Well, that logo is.
I didn't say stop.
It's yeah. It's a little Spider-Man looking dude, or it's some kind of.
That's Mizu's logo. That's what she puts on all her blades.
It's
like her signature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's.
I thought it kind of meant her because the grayish white skin, blue font. I thought it might have meant that, but it's not really blue like eye blue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, obviously, then if that's what it is, then it represents her forging her new sword.
Matt Barr's in the house.
Oh,
go check out his channel. Good friend, great guy, great artist. Funny as hell too. So go check out his channel, Matt 6 Bar. He's got a lot of great content there, and I'm usually on there with the Pre Kings. A lot of great people on there. So thanks, Matt. Thanks for coming on. CLS, thanks for coming in, buddy. Let's just pretend I caught up on Blue Eye Samurai. Yeah, no problem. And Zax, what's up there, Zax? Thanks for joining us, brother.
It's funny how it's been like last night. It's been like 7 weeks, and we still have people in the chat like, God, I need to watch the show. I'll check out. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, we should be getting checks in the mail any day now.
Yeah.
I love that one part in the Blue Eye Samurai where the samurai just got samurai'd everywhere.
Yes, that did happen. You're correct.
Samurai.
But getting back to the color scheme for this episode, it's this kind of off eggshell white. And I think it's representing the tofu that they mentioned quite a bit in this episode.
Yeah, bland,
colorless, and there's a lot of white references in this episode too. And as we go along, we'll kind of point them out. But that's the takeaway I got from this one. So it's interesting. Yeah, the wedding dress.
I could see that.
Yeah, it
could also be gray, kind of like Mizu's soul.
I thought you watched this also, Watani. I don't have Netflix. I'm watching the show through you guys. That's awesome. Thank you.
That's a shit way to watch.
Yeah.
Right on cue. I still need to watch the show. It's a great show. Great writing. Very good writing in this show. And then another one that I've been watching too is Pluto. That has, especially episode 1, the writing for Pluto is just top notch.
Oh, that's the one you told me to watch. Okay.
Yeah, Pluto's really good.
It is some good recurring humor, though. You know, Zach's coming in here and being like, "I need to watch this show later."
Well, yeah, Vex loves Scavenger's Reign. That's her show. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I said Vex. I meant Zax. I'm so sorry. When Zax
man, I heard Zax.
When Zax comes in here every week, he's just like, "Yo, man, how you doing? I need to watch the show later."
Yeah.
See you next week.
Also, Watami, you mean we are watching Samurai Gooch Edition? That's right, you are. The Gooch. So yeah, we start off. We see Abijah Fowler looking upon the castle, talking about how much gold he spent.
A great monologue right here. Not really a monologue, but a couple lines here. I mean, what does he say? He says, so my cage so many years, took them forever to build a proper Jakes. What's a Jakes? Build a proper Jakes.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Okay, I didn't know what he was saying there either.
And then he says, I spun so much gold in there. Fuck 10,000 times. I never want to see it again. I do.
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh. Yeah.
Fucking amazing job with this character.
Yeah. Right here, he gives a nice blowing a kiss to the castle the cage that he says.
And also here
first world problems.
This carriage scene, and this is where I first recognized who does the voice of the one-armed man. It's that guy from The Office. Ken Park. He played Kim Jong in the interview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guy who pretends to be Jim for an episode or whatever.
Yeah, he's a
Randall Park.
Right.
Randall Park.
Randall Park.
Randall Park. That's it.
Cool.
We need a Brit. Okay. So yeah, we see that, and then right away we get into them leaving, and then we see Abijah talking to Haishi Shindu, and he's trying to pry information from Abijah, and Abijah is just playing it off like he's just talking about rifles, and Abijah is talking about the stuff that they're going to, yes, that's about to happen right away here. When they stop worrying, they stop thinking they need us. Some great lines in this one. The dialogue's excellent.
Yeah, for sure.
Any thoughts along before we get into the nasties?
I think Fowler already knows that Haiji doesn't like him anymore. He's already, like, he even alludes to like he's changed. Like, you're different. You lost. Like, I'm glad to see you got your appetite back now. Because like Abijah always knows. You know, he's the villain that always knows.
Yeah, you lost your arm.
You lost your arm, not your prick.
Yeah,
but like he's also.
Oh, okay. There's some good scenes right there. Yeah.
Like he's also noticed that his appetite, you know, like his vengeful. I don't know how you'd even call it, like his immoral sort of like power hungry appetite has come back, and he's sort of alluding, at least it seems like it, that he knows that he's working against him now, but there's like nothing you can do about it.
Now, who's this guy getting his throat slash?
I don't know who that is. But before we do it, Vengeance News Network, thanks for joining us. I've never seen this name before, but thank
Buffalo.
you. Thanks for joining us. News. He got the whorehouses all picked out along the route. Yeah,
whorehouses in Japan are like the Buc-ee's out here in Texas. You know, you just like mark them all down on your way, and it's like every stop you stop at one of these Buc-ee's.
Yeah,
he's got an itinerary for Gooch.
Dude, if the only thing that could make Buc-ee's better is if there was like literal geishas. Right? Well, I guess there's lot lizards and stuff. So yeah, I guess you could get some whores at a Buc-ee's.
Friends of the road, Bubs. Friends of the road.
It's the way of the road, Bubs. The way of the road. It's the way she goes.
Well, the scene before, like it's kind of shocking because you're watching episode 6 and you're really enjoying that, and then you get into this. It's almost like we were talking about this last night actually on Zax's channel, Spartacus on Showtime, where you get some really good episodes, some action sequences, and then all of a sudden the next episode's like you get this kind of stuff where you hit the
sin
sexual adventures, if you want to call it, like this guy's
but
going at it with this girl and a guy behind him. Like it's just like, okay, all right.
It's not like the sex scene from episode 5. This is like just like eyes wide shut style, like hedonism. And I thought this was the one-armed guy getting his throat slashed, but then we see tentacles, and again with the tentacles, the live octopus, but then a one-armed guy is still alive. And this is the famous scene. This is probably the thing we're going to joke about the most this whole episode.
Yeah.
Does this make Abijah less threatening or more threatening?
I think more threatening. More threatening in my eyes. Where, especially like when he's talking to Madam Kaji, like, thank you for everything that you do. You always like bring your A game, and you always bring something different. And she's like, always a pleasure to serve you. And
I feel like
literally
I feel like that shot could be a meme right here.
You think?
Just cut that out. Always a pleasure to serve you.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like bent over, and you think he's like resting, and then like he's like struggling to say his words of vengeance.
Yeah, his one eye just starts fluttering shut.
She will take orders from me.
Yeah, that prostate's getting tickled. Haiji's just like looking forward, like it's just like nothing.
He's like, yeah.
Well, he can smell it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm getting away. I'm walking away from this eventually. But yeah, we see the lady in the devil mask, who I thought was like, is this a prostitute we know? No.
Random. This is the part I want to get to, where he's talking, and then he comes to fruition here.
He's also letting out all of his plan too of what his.
Yeah, we know this girl. Spoiler alert: she's the one that gets thrown off the balcony.
Right. Okay.
Yes,
that's right. It's her little mole. That's the identifier.
I didn't say stop. That was like the best line I think you could. And she's just like, and then she just goes, puts the mask back on,
she takes a deep breath.
Yeah,
breathe out your mouth. Don't breathe in through your nose. Also, the idea that the demon is sodomizing him with his nose is also like an extra layer of depravity.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew it. I was just going to leave that for Enzo. Enzo will bring that point up.
I don't understand these people. I mean, I understand it. I just don't condone it. But hey, I'm not going to kink shame. Abijah's into whatever.
the white demon is already a pain in his ass figuratively, so might as well
Also,
go full circle.
Imagine if it was a blue demon mask. That would have been an extra layer of metaphor. That might have been too
nice
much.
call.
Honestly.
Nice call. Or blue nose.
Yeah.
That would have been a good call.
Maybe he's going through the rainbow. You don't know.
And then his right-hand man, no pun intended, Aishi Shindu is, got these scouts looking for the rifles on the boats on all the ports and fish yards, searching everything. And we'll get to that part right here where he's sending out a letter to, he get the what are these guys? I can't remember these guys' names. They were like their, I guess,
Chin or something is
the
guy's name.
They're just part of like the Edo clan, which is like the clan.
Yeah,
that
this is the
supports
guy
the
who said
shogun.
this was the guy who didn't like the cheese curds from the last
Oh,
episode.
the cottage cheese, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, it's a lovely sourness. Yeah.
Well, this guy's the father of the dude that Akemi is marrying, I'm pretty sure.
No,
he's
some relation to him, I'm sure.
I think he's like a right-hand man or like a servant, like a
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, move on. I'll look it up. Let's see here. These characters. I see. George Takei. Ooh. Let's see here. Lord Daishi? No. Takayoshi. What are these names? All these names all sound the same.
I wish for animated shows, when they like list the cast, they don't just say the name, they also give you like a picture of the animated character. That'd be nice.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Well, now we come to Akemi. I'll let you search that there, Enzo. Akemi here, and she's with her father. He's all excited because his plans, going forward. He's talking about all the finest things that they're receiving. She's had her teeth blackened at this point. She's not very happy. He's just telling her, you have to do this for the family. You're going to get everything that you want more by doing this. So why are you fighting it?
Some more great lines in this is where she's like, what does he tell her? He's like, oh, I don't, something about, oh, you made me black my teeth. You made me blacken my teeth. What was the line before that? He says, he's like, you're not going to do, I'm not going to force you to do anything.
It's like, have I ever not given you what you wanted?
Yeah. When I had to get my teeth blackened last week, you dick. Also, it's a good thing that she still has her teeth, and they weren't just, removed and replaced with weird black dentures. You never know.
Can they be whitened after?
I'd imagine so. Well, she had her teeth blackened before.
It's probably easier to blacken white teeth than it is to whiten black teeth. Possible? I don't know. Who knows?
Well, this scene is significant in a lot of ways too, where Akemi is alone and she's looking at all the gifts, and she starts hearing a chirping, and she sees the bird. She's talking about how long you've been trapped in this cage, like referencing they're both trapped in a cage. She's like, it's spring, and she releases the bird, which I find like funny because she's like, oh no, she's on the main floor. I was thinking she was upstairs. So she's releases the bird, then she starts chasing the bird, looking up in the sky, and she's all excited and happy. And then let's see if I can find it here. Let me just maybe play a snippet. The bird is flying, and then shunk. Shut down by
the odds.
Yeah. Shut down by her soon-to-be husband. And they brag about how he shot down such a small bird in flight with an arrow. And Akami's upset and scolding her husband, questioning him, and he doesn't say anything back. And for a reason, as we find out later. And then the mother's there, and
all I know is this guy's name is Chiba, and that's it. I can't find any info on this guy.
I can't either. I'm sort of trying to look.
God. Anyway, Yeah, this is something where I was able to pick this up where, mother-in-law is not too great. She's worse than father-in-law. She's worse than the husband.
She looks like a bucket of laughs.
I'm not gonna lie. I would have loved it if George Takei did the voice for her.
Oh, right.
You just like tried to make it higher pitch or something.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, because we all know George Takei, so that would have been great if he got a little flamboyant with this. But so yeah, the mother is obviously judging, and
she has this little smile on her face after that too.
Yeah.
So like we already, this is already gonna be bad because like the mother-in-law smiling, and then the next is like these two witches who are what, like her assigned friends or
they're like her caretakers, ladies in waiting.
But yeah, a wife should be like tofu, bland, colorless, and tasteless. Not noticeable, colorless, and bland.
And I think they did say tasteless too. I think they said, did they not?
You guys just triggered a bunch of vegans.
Unnoticed, colorless, and bland. There you go.
Mom is a see you next Tuesday.
Giving her also giving her all this horrible exposition about his previous fiancés. How one of them got sent home in an urn, and the other, he likes to. His favorite position is like strangling you with an idu with an what?
Yeah,
what
I don't know what that is.
An obi.
An obi. Sorry.
Obi. Okay, what's an obi?
I don't know. I just read it in the script.
Oh.
It sounds like some
Japanese
kind of choking
obi.
device.
Let's see. It is a sash. Okay, it's basically like a ribbon. It's part of part of your gowns and stuff, your robes you wear. Okay.
Okay.
Kinky.
Yeah. Silk.
So Akemi is definitely, soaking everything in. That's the beautiful thing about Akemi. Like, she really doesn't show her cards at all. She just soaks everything in and then, strikes when the opportunity is perfect. That's what I like about Akemi.
And I like how she has all the idiosyncrasies of, that like raised right, like self-righteous kind of, sheltered girl. And she knows that she's self-aware, and she's sort of trying to come to terms with it the whole time. And the script never really lets her get away with anything because of that. But it's self-aware, because so many shows they do this. They take this girl boss and they make them just do amazing things everywhere, and everyone loves them despite the fact they never earn it. Whereas Akemi here, she's forced to earn it constantly. Which I think is just great writing.
I have a question for you guys, and I'll save it to the end of the episode here. But and I think it's a good question, because I had this debate with Leon about it, and so I wanted to ask you guys and get your opinions on it. But we get to Akemi here. She's dressed in white, that same color. Like I mentioned in the beginning.
Foreshadowing.
I was just gonna say foreshadowing.
She's contemplating maybe killing herself, maybe, or something.
She's looking. So she even says it's what are my choices? Like, death seems like a better option. And I like Sakai. I really like it. Like, George Sakai did a really good job with this character.
I agree.
Especially when he talks about how he doesn't know shit about nothing. He's not a lover or a fighter or a thinker.
Yeah.
All he is a dad. That's it.
Technically a mom, but
yeah.
Well, she's I mean, a bit of a double entendre there, because he was hired to replace sort of her mom, who's obviously not in the picture for unknown reasons. Do we know why? I don't think so.
Her mom's dead, right?
Yeah, her mom died, and I can't remember the reason why she died. I think it was it due to an illness? I think it was. They were talking about illnesses that were happening throughout, because they had plagues and stuff during that time.
Feels like that was 6 weeks ago or something. We talked about.
Anyway, he's sort of the hired hand to step in to do the mom role, I guess, to bring her up right and teach her womanly things, which is kind of ironic that George Takei is voicing it.
Jamma, I feel like every character in the show was expanded upon in this episode. I totally agree with you on that. Like, you got to see a broader scope of the characteristics in each character here.
Like basically
everyone. More from Sakai, Akemi. You see, obviously, you get a little bit of the shogun that Akemi's marrying. You see you learn about the mother real quick, and then Abijah, and you get a lot, and it just, you soak it in. See, this is the difference between a really good written story compared to Rebel Moon, where there was nothing to those characters.
Oh God.
Because
I had to bring it up.
I did, because this is the debate, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, Rebel Moon was great." Why was it great? It wasn't good. It wasn't good. There was nothing to the characters. Korra was a Mary Sue. She was perfect. She did nothing wrong. She was given all these opportunities in life. She had some trauma in her life, but she was put in an elite position. She was hand gifted everything, and put into this power position. All the other characters, we don't even learn about them. We learn very little about them until like the end, when they're about to die. Like, it's just
it's basically get the crew together, have like one tiny snippet about each of them, and then it's over. Have the boss fight on the roof, and that's it. There's really nothing else to it. They set up, they do like this mystery box, like, oh, we're gonna set all this shit up, and never explain it with the hopes that maybe you'll forget that we set it up, so it seems like it's deeper than it is.
What's the subtitle for Rebel Moon? This one?
Who gives a fuck?
Right.
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember.
It doesn't matter.
Something child, or the child.
All of the world building was garbage and basically plagiarized. It felt like some horrible like abomination between Star Wars and like Firefly or something.
Yeah. I like this comment here by Asawatami. Ambushes the audience with information. I like that. I really like that. And setting you up for a twist. And then we got Ziggs, formerly Hostman. Hey guys, just popping in for a second. Thanks for joining us, bro. Appreciate
Ziggs, you have to get down next Jackbox.
Yes, he does. And he has some great. We've had him here before, and he gives us some great information on history here. He's really good at that.
Me and
I believe
Ziggs
he knows something about sword making, if I'm not confusing him with someone else. But
I was honored to have Ziggs bust his YouTube cherry on my channel when we watched Terror in a Haunted House.
Nice.
And then his fire alarm went off in the middle of it. It was awesome. It's a highlight reel worthy for sure.
Living in apartments.
Yes, Jamma just adding, you learn more about multiple characters in one episode than any singular character in Ahsoka. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the problem with these mainstream movies and series now, where they just put these characters in and expect you just to watch and enjoy it. But people actually love the story. They love the dialogue. They love the anticipation of
see, the lazy writing. The lazy writing makes sense for Ahsoka and Star Wars and Marvel, because like these are established characters. So it's like, all right, we don't need to establish them so much because everyone kind of knows them. But even then, that's bad. But the problem with Rebel Moon is like we don't know any of these characters. They're acting like we do. They're acting like they are some kind of Marvel superhero that we should all know. General Titus. I don't fucking know this guy. Who is he?
Yeah. Who gives a shit? Don't give me world building and an exposition dump. I don't care if it's Anthony Hopkins or fucking Ian McKellen. It won't sink in because you haven't made me care.
I like how Vex popped in and we're talking about Rebel Moon. I swear we were only talking about it for 5 minutes. I swear.
Ziggs is moving to a new school, so I shouldn't have the problem of fire alarms anymore. Cool. Ziggs sounds young. Like, God,
dude, he's very young.
Transferring to a new school.
What are you like? How old he is, but he's young as hell.
Are you like British boarding school? Or are we talking university?
He's old enough to party and stuff. I mean, he's not like a child or anything.
So university.
Yeah, he's talking about college.
We don't want a sore little boy. We don't want that.
Yeah, he's 13. That's like my biggest fear is like someone's like watching my shows regularly and I find out they're like 12. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Vex, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year, Vex. Still have to watch this. Does that make me brown-eyed? I'm going to leave that to you to answer, Vex. I'm not touching this one.
You have brown eyes. That's what makes you brown-eyed.
Yes. And a lot of people either have a not even going to go there.
Well, after this episode, you're likely to get pink eye. But...
Ziggs said it himself. Ziggs doxed his own age, so I didn't have to.
Yeah,
19.
He's a young
19.
Fresh.
He's got his whole life ahead of him. Spry little boy, young lad.
So we continue with the relationship between Sakai and Akemi. And then we go back to the sword maker. He's probably one of my favorite characters, the sword maker. Just a really great character. He's kind of like that Obi-Wan Kenobi character.
Yeah, he's an archetype, the wise old man.
Yeah.
He's Gandalf / the guy from Karate Kid / whoever else fills that archetype.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And then we get to Mizu, and she is waking up, and she realizes she's back home and starting to question everything. Ringo makes a comment, wake me up when Taigen awakes. Tell me when Taigen awakes. He wants nothing to do with Mizu here. Go ahead, Amateur.
Before we go forward, just something I'd like to point out. The window on the right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything's perfectly straight except for one little slat. Yeah. Intentionally made it imperfect. If you look closely at this guy's frickin' shop, and it'll drive people with OCD insane. Oh. He's added an intentional flaw to everything. Something I just noticed this episode.
What a dick.
It's part of the whole sword philosophy / life lessons that he tries to instill. And it's like he's got that in his actual shop, which I thought was pretty neat.
Mm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. But,
and why do you think that? Why do you think there's the intentional flaw there? Do you think the sword maker did that intentionally, or do you think?
Yeah, of course he did.
He talks a lot about
it would be harder to make it on an angle than it would be to make it straight.
If the metal's too pure, it'll break or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to leave something of how God made it.
He's not a perfectionist. I mean, he is, but he's an intentional imperfectionist, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. He could be perfect, but he chooses not to be, which is way cooler. And
he's also old and blind, I mean, it's kind of, and he got blinded. We talked about this earlier, right? Forging fire.
Yeah.
Right?
I think they even bring it up again.
Yeah, they do. But it's not the first time. And that's a dope ass brick oven fireplace. Oh, super cool.
Yes.
I love these houses, these movies or these scenes that just have this cozy cabin vibes. God, I love it.
Gotta have them.
I want to live in a cozy cabin somewhere.
And Taigen heals real fast, apparently. So I think he's part Wolverine here.
But
honestly, the cold water, the freezing cold water probably helped a lot. Actually, no, I think.
Yeah, seawater in an open wound is.
They also don't really tell you how long the passage of time is here between last episode and the next episode.
Well, he's got hair on his bald patch in this.
Well, Enrico also stated that it's been a few days traveling, and he didn't know where to go. So I'm assuming 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
walking around.
And they don't spend an insignificant amount of time here either, because he's building forges and shit while they're there.
I love that he's following the sword maker around, just like his dad when he was in the noodle shop, just constantly talking. Mizu's just watching and kind of witnessing everything. Yeah. It's funny.
It's also one of my favorite lines, I think, right here is where he says, what does he say? Yeah, you can help me by providing me silence. That's what he says. He's like, if I can help you, Mr. Sword Maker, he's like, please, you can help me by shutting up. It reminds me of I need to get a haircut very soon because my hair is super long and I don't like it. And I'm just waiting for these Great Clips coupons that show up every once in a while, and I just haven't gotten them in a while. I'm getting kind of annoyed. I might have to just pay the full price. But the point is, I go to the haircut place, and I always say the same thing. They're like, hey, how do you want your haircut? And I always say the same thing. I always say, in silence. And
Nice.
They tend to not like that, but whatever. It gets the point across. I just want my hair chopped off, and please don't talk to me. I'm stoned.
How do you know they're not like shaving a picture of a dick on the back of your head?
No, yeah, I don't really say that. They get the idea when they ask me, like, so what do you do? And I'm like, work at home. And they'll be like, oh,
Fair
okay.
enough.
And they're like, so is your day off? I'm like, no. And they'll be like, all right. And they just stop talking.
The worst is when the dentist tries to talk to you. It's like, what do you want? Like, you have shit in my mouth right now.
Yeah. They do that on purpose to fuck with you. They're like being funny when they do that. But yeah, that's why I like an old lady to cut my hair. I hate it when guys cut my hair because they just want to chat with you.
Like, see, I have my buddy Caesar. He cuts my hair.
Yeah, see, I don't want my friend cutting my hair. I don't like that relationship.
Oh, he's a bro. He does it great.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was about to say you're Italian. You got to be like family friends with your hairdresser and your deli guy. And
I want an old lady to cut my hair. I want to be like, tell me what you think, Gertrude. Tell me what you think looks good.
Hey, Tony, how's your noni doing?
Yeah. Taigen is actually, you hear Taigen thank Mizu for saving his life. You see kind of like a bit of emotion from Taigen here. And you see a little bit more as we go forward here. And then we get to Akemi traveling through town. And this is a great scene here too, where she's talking to these these two girls remind me of the Siamese cats from the Lady and the Tramp.
We are Siamese, if you please.
Yeah.
We are Siamese, if you don't please.
I think I have a triangle around here somewhere, actually.
Yeah.
All my drums are in the garage, so
the bongos. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but they have that vibe to them. So it's just they're like being condescending and and
it's like
they're awful.
Like, look, it's bad enough that you got like a bitch on your fucking back all the time. The fact that there's like two of them, there's a clone, it's like double the trouble.
Yeah, and they're like her planted spies. So everything that they see, they're gonna relay.
Yeah, all they do is talk shit and just like threaten to rat on her and just like I mean, it's just like
And then we got Madame Kaji with her gaggle of whores. And
harem.
Gaggle sounds better.
Yeah.
Akemi, you have wife teeth, the black pearls. And then this scene where Madame Kaji talks to Akemi about being a woman and using her abilities as a woman and being a strong woman and using men to gain that power.
They're talking about how like they are walking up here, whoring themselves to every traveler to get up here to the royal wedding. And Akemi's like, yeah, you like gaggle too, eh? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, she reveals that it's her wedding, and they're kind of freaked out. And that's when she starts like complaining about how terrible it is. And they're like, bitch, it's like you get to please one man, and we have to service every
clean,
washed.
Washed man, yeah.
Oh my god. And they're just like, come on, man, like you don't understand how great you have it. And he's like, oh, but you don't understand, he's a dick. And he's like, yeah, men are dicks, and the ones who act the most beastly, she says, are the weakest. Men are weak.
Yeah, they want to be diapered, spanked, and breastfed. Then they strut away like they conquered an army.
Yeah, in reality, their pricks are fragile, and that's the thing I always talk about is like, like when you compare like a woman's genitals versus a man's genitals. I always joke about like your balls. Like, imagine, ladies, if your ovaries hung outside of your body in a delicate little sack. Like, imagine how exposed that is, and how, like, when people talk about getting kicked in the balls versus getting kicked in the vagina, getting kicked in the balls is like, objectively worse.
Enzo, I was worried about the whorehouse in the beginning, but I didn't realize we would get to this point. Women's ovaries hanging out.
Hey, the point is, man, your little fucking cock and balls, you are so delicate there. And the thing is, you cut off a man's boner, he will bleed to death in seconds. Okay, it is that easy.
It's like a fire hose, apparently.
Right here, I don't know if you can see my cursor or not. This is the nose girl. The one with the mask. Yeah.
Oh, is that why they wear that makeup? So you can't tell they have pink eye?
Just came back to that. Hell yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I had a crazy day. I've been drinking.
It's no. This is why I have you on. You're great. Yeah. So yeah, this like you're right, Enzo. This speech here is great, and she's basically given her the confidence to go back and use her womanizing ways to benefit her and become a strong woman. I was waiting to get to the scene. I was gonna wait and hear you guys potentially say this is like a feminist.
No. Love this scene. Love it.
It is feminist. It's just like actual good wholesome feminism.
First wave
what
feminism.
I thought.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I thought too. Like it's portrayed and a I don't want to say
be strong. Use your feminine gifts to your advantage. Like you have the shogun's ear essentially. You have all the power. All you have to do is just like play your cards right, and you can control this whole situation. Like everything you've learned up to this point has become super important now. So you better not fucking stare this gift horse in the mouth. Figure your shit out. You know, take control of your fucking life.
Right. That's what she says. She says, nurture his weakness, become his strength, and he will worship you. And then she says the best line.
Give him mommy issues.
But then she says, stop running to and from men, and decide what you want for your fucking self, you know?
Yeah.
Like, basically, like, it's like, look, me and my horror friends don't have time for your first world Japanese problems, you know? Oh, my rich, powerful husband is kind of a dick.
Well, Madame Kachi is basically the same character. Well, not the same character, but she's completed the journey that Akemi is on now, right? You know, she's a self-made woman. She has her business. She's probably had to, step on a lot of freaking heads to get there, and it probably wasn't pleasant. But, she did it. So when she's listening to her complain about arguably a less uncomfortable, probably more straightforward situation, she's just like, you know what? Like, fuck you. Like, I respect you, but like, fuck you. You little first world princess. It's great. I
didn't know what you guys were going to take from the scene, but I took it as like, you see, like, I agree with you with the amateur, a very weathered woman. She's been through who knows what, like I'm sure the worst of the worst, and in a kind of a power position, and she knows how to use men to get where she's at, and she's still at low rung on the on the ladder, and she's telling Akemi, you're in a position where you could rule the land. You could you could be like running Japan here, like
and I like how they made Madame Kaji frustrated there, because that is what you would feel. You're like the seasoned veteran who had like the hardest road, well, at least a much more difficult road, and then you're listening to someone complain about, basically the same journey but on an easier road, and it's like, fuck you.
As we see later, it does this kind of speech does kind of work out in her favor, but then it doesn't work out in her favor. But the idea is, it's like, hey, I'm going to come back and repay you for kind of snapping some sense into me, and I'm going to repay you because, you're right. I do have a fucking powerful, rich husband.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. It's a pretty sweet deal, actually. Thank you for opening my eyes, Madam Kanji.
Yeah, it's a great little narrative bit, and there's like a lot of character work in there, and it totally makes sense that she would then hire them as like her confidants, because like,
Also, the best is like Akemi's getting like confronted from women on multiple levels. There's the Siamese cat girls. There's the mother-in-law. There's her old prostitute friends, acquaintances.
Her father.
Her father, who's also George Takei. So she's getting like a lot of cat.
No, her mom's George Takei.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of cat fighting, a lot of cat fighting going on in this episode. And that's the thing is, like I said earlier, this is one of the strongest episodes in the whole show, and yet, interestingly, it has like some of the least action.
Yeah.
It's a pretty chill, like I said, Game of Thrones episode, like the good Game of Thrones, where it's like a lot of plotting and scheming and whippy dialogue.
Yes. They finally get to the battle and it cuts to black and you don't care.
Yeah, interesting character, development and motives, and Yeah, all this cool stuff.
Here's another thing that I just popped into my head, and I forgot to bring this up earlier in one of these episodes. How old do you think Akemi and Mizu and Taigen are?
I have no idea.
Late
19,
teens.
18. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
the life expectancy was 40. So put that into, into consideration.
Because I wouldn't be surprised if she was 15, 16. Because back then
makes this whole show much more twisted.
Well, no, but you saw that in Game of Thrones, where they took young girls because they were fresh.
You're probably right.
But it's kind of how it was, because you're old once you hit your mid-20s. You're old. You're you're doing now is what you're going to be doing forever.
The blind sword maker is 38. He's my age.
Yeah.
He's
he's still got 5 years to go before his pension.
Ancient.
Yeah, Jama Lama, I love this comment too. Akemi has a 180-degree story arc, and I love it. Yeah, it's great.
They both do, both main characters.
Yeah.
And it becomes very clear in this episode that it's a deuteragonist situation.
Because you see Mizu's.
Yeah, Mizu's dude. I used to play bass for them, man.
Oh yeah, great band.
Sorry, Amateur. You go on. You go ahead. You were saying something. I cut you off there.
But yeah, Mizu's she's the protagonist, if you will, of the A plot, and Akemi's the protagonist of the B plot. And it seems like an intentional thing that the writers have done, where they've taken the two different approaches you can do to a strong female type. Where one masquerades as a man, and the other has to sort of deal with the fact that they're a girl and use that feminine, that whole feminist perspective or whatever limitations or strengths to her advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing both, and basically both of them go through very similar parts of their character journeys at the same time, and the scenes actually intercut, and here it becomes very obvious. They're both realizing what they knew at the beginning, but it's now they've learned some lessons, so when they hear it again, it sticks, right? It's very interesting, and it's definitely not unintentional, or it definitely is intentional.
Right. Well, and dialogue wise, the point of the scene is I need a new sword, fix my old sword. I can't, it's broken. Broken is broken. And he's like, well, then you need to remelt it and give me a new one or something. And he's like, no, you're a damn hateful killer.
Well, that, and he says that your sword wasn't pure. It wasn't a pure metal. You didn't blend it properly.
Yeah, that's why it can't be reforged. And he's like, well, then give me a sword. And he's like, no, you got bad juju, lady. Unless for, so many words.
The fire in you rages beyond control, is what he said.
Yeah, and he says the young girl you used to be, you used to understand what a sword was, a delicate line between life and death, whatever the hell he says.
Yeah, I'm not the child you once knew. No, that child would run if it saw you. That child understood the meaning of a sword, like the line separating life and death. That's my favorite line of the whole show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple good ones in this whole show. Every episode has one or two solid ones. I think I like the one earlier where a sword is a gun is never as beautiful. It will never be as beautiful as a sword, but with a gun you could take any sword you want. That's a good one.
Of
my favorites.
Mine is I'm not finished.
Or I didn't say stop.
I didn't say stop. Sorry, I didn't say stop.
I know what you meant. I knew what you meant.
The other thing too, they key on the scars on the sword maker here. You notice it before, but you really see him in this episode. You see his arms a lot more. You see a lot of the scars and how beaten down he's been through a lot, and then he just continues to give this wisdom. He also gives a really great line when she's going to make her own sword. And she's going through the paces here, doing all the blends, digging up the ground, building up a fire pit of her own, trying to mold some steel. Taigen's out here. He goes back to the village and has some memories. And he starts thinking of Mizu here.
He realizes he was a dick.
Yeah. Which I found interesting.
Throwing rocks at her head. Chasing her around, and she's a girl. It's bad enough she has blue. I mean, they don't know she's a girl, but still, But what's interesting is Tegan still at this point is not aware she's a girl. So we have to bring that up. This is,
well, he doesn't know, but his pecker does.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that because, like, I mean, yeah, his pecker subconsciously knows. But what's interesting about that, we'll get to that later, but we might as well bring it up. It's like, dude, your boner, you would feel what you're feeling with your boner. You know, you would be able to tell, like, that is not a cock and balls that I'm rubbing up against, you know?
Maybe he just really likes twinks. Who knows?
He's
that's
23. Pansexual.
Yeah, you would have like a Mulan type, like, am I gay type, you know?
He's a pansexual. He likes to get emotionally involved before he gets.
It's just one of the guys, like, where you think you're gay and you're having feelings for your dude friend. And then at the end, she like pulls her shirt open and shows you like these huge, awesome titties. And you're like, oh my God, thank God. Everything worked out. It's all okay.
We can play Dungeons and Dragons and screw.
She was actually a woman in disguise. I could tell somehow.
Yeah. This relationship here, like, Ringo's great. There's just a lot of innocence there.
And he's got no hands. Poor
that
bastard.
Was actually
like,
that's another great line too, where Swordmaker. We're not there yet, but I think this is the scene where he says he wants to be a great samurai.
Yeah, a samurai needs hands. I can't do it. He's like, well, a swordmaker needs eyes. And here I am, a fucking blind swordmaker. So, you know.
And I like how he has that same line when Ringo gives him his intentions. He just goes, is that all? Yeah. Same thing when oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking right now. Mizu, when she's like, yeah, I gotta kill this guy. I gotta become the best swordsman in Japan. Oh, is that all? You know, it's the same line. So he's like approaching the relationship like identically. Because like when you're that old, you're kind of set in your ways. There's no spontaneity anymore. But like I always thought that was kind of neat how consistent he is. Which you know, it lends to him being an archetype that much more. Like it shows that the writers know what an archetype is and know how to write them, which Hollywood does not know how to do anymore outside of like Top Gun.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Like, this is my fear. Like I mentioned this last night on Zach's channel as well, where we're talking about 2024 and the things that are coming out. And I'm really looking forward to Arcane season 2, but because it blew up,
away,
big, because it blew up, like who got their hands in there and try to change things up? Like I
don't think anyone has. I've been following Fortiche and Riot semi closely. It's all the same people, and they've been on like a bunch of streams.
Sword hands, yeah.
They've been doing like some of the creators of the show, like a lot of like, man, it always impresses me. Like you learn who's making the stuff, and it's like some dude who's younger than me, fresh out of school, who's just like, yeah, I did all of the score with this other guy for Arcane, like the whole thing. And he looks like maybe 26, 27. And it's like, fucking what? Dude, that's like John Williams level. Well, maybe not John Williams. That's a bad comparison. But like, you know, this is like world-class Hollywood composer stuff that you've made here. And it sounds super high fidelity. It's edited so well. You just hear these guys talk about it. It's like, there's no way that they're going to let anyone touch their baby. Like, it's kind of like a weird situation where it's not a Hollywood studio. It's not a film, movie, TV studio that's doing it. It's a game company that has like serious money to burn. They don't give a shit how much it costs. They make so much money off microtransactions, they'll make your eyes water.
Well, to expand on your score stuff, the music score, most music scores nowadays are digital and use software. Very rarely.
Well, they're just using Logic most of the time.
Yeah, very rarely do they record an actual like orchestra
anymore. Oh yeah, no, they 100% are. But
they do sometimes, but like you'd be surprised. Like Hans Zimmer, all of his shit's all digital, and then of course when they go live, like he gets a real.
Not completely true, but there's crazy. He does a lot of live sampling and then digitizes the shit out of it. That's kind of different though.
That's cool. Well, another thing back to what Jay was saying earlier, 2024. This is a little bit of tangent, but dude, they should do a Bring Back the Show 24 just for like one season for 2024. Is that an idea, or is that just am I just being stupid right now?
No, that's a cool idea.
Is that happening? That should happen. I don't know. Anyway.
About
What's
the
Kiefer
archetype
doing these
and
days?
how you get so much from the master with so few words. Yes,
Yeah, because
absolutely.
he is the master. He's honed everything down to its
Ooh,
simplest form.
I like this
Yeah.
question. You think anyone will make Tarantino films?
We have been. We're watching one right now.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
yeah.
You know what I want to see, and I've wanted to see for a long time? Kill Bill, the Beatrix, the bride. I want to see her crossover into From Dusk Till Dawn territory. I want to see the
Hey.
bride fighting vampires in Mexico.
Same universe, technically, yeah.
Yeah, make it happen. Someone doesn't need to be Quentin Tarantino. Doesn't need to be Rod Rodriguez. Someone.
I literally just I rewatched that show the other day because I was trying to find a good clip of like Tarantino with his foot thing.
Oh hell yeah!
And I ended up watching the whole movie, and I'm like, man, this movie is great. Like, it's just so offbeat, but like awesome.
I'm imagining Quentin Tarantino like pitching that to Robert Rodriguez, like he's acting like he's just kind of coming up with the idea on the fly. He's like, hey, you know what'd be cool? This is just spitballing here, but what if like Salma Hayek showed up in like her underwear? And she picks someone. Let's say she just picks my character. Let's just say, for argument's sake, and then she proceeds to throw whiskey all down her leg, all up on her feet, and I have to suck the whiskey off of her toes for multiple takes for a whole day. Basically, I have to have her foot in my mouth for multiple angles.
Dude, the sounds too. The fucking sounds that they kept. They didn't replace the audio. They kept the audio from that shot. It's amazing.
And Quentin Tarantino kind of realizes, you know what? I'm the writer. Let's do it.
Did they actually do that? They didn't do this. The True Lies into a
No,
TV
they did.
show?
They did it. It doesn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger though. But yeah, there's apparently a True Lies. I know they're bringing back Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but yeah, True Lies is a show, and apparently it sucks.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Schwarzenegger's in that other show with chick from Top Gun, and it's not any good either. I'm trying to remember what it's called. They're like a CIA spy family thing, and it's rough.
Oh, and this show was canceled too already. One season.
Yeah.
Oof.
Not good.
So this is where we get into Taigen and Mizu. They start rolling around. He challenges it with a hammer. And he's like, I like this, like the sword is the soul of the samurai, and he's just like, that's what they tell you at first level in the dojo with the students. He just lays it down to where I was just like, oh damn, this is
just like
cool.
You might be better than me.
Yeah. And yeah, this is the challenge here, and they start rolling around, and
awkward boner time.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
and then we see his little lighthouse, his little tent.
Yeah, I must be missing Akemi. She's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
sure.
Also, I should tell you that you're never going to see her again. She's getting married to the Ioto or whatever his name is, the Shogun.
Yeah.
He's like, what the hell? You didn't tell me this? He's like, sorry.
Yeah, he gets pissed off.
Like, what kind of samurai are you? The government's about to get overthrown, and you're just like not mentioning this?
Yeah. He's like, look, I got a plan. All right. My plan is to kill Fowler. And it's like, yeah, that's why you're the devil. Your plan is all about vengeance and no honor, full of hate. You're a demon. Hell with this. And he also, he makes a declarative statement like, I'm going to go to Ito and I'm going to do the thing and then I'm going to come back and kill you. It's like,
and I like how he leaves his sword, which is interesting.
Dude, don't get upset that you got a boner over me. Like, you feel like you're overreacting. All right.
Is there some kind of like deeper meaning? Is this like some sort of old Japanese thing? He leaves the sword. Is that like him?
Yeah,
pledging that he's going to come back and kill her or something.
Yeah, like this is a reminder. This is the sword I'm going to kill you with. I'm leaving it here.
Make sure that's here when I get back.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
I do too. Again, the animation's done incredible here. Like the backdrops are perfect. Like it's just everything.
If you squint, it's photoreal, but if you look really closely at anything, it's super basic. I love that stuff.
It's amazing what a tiny Gaussian blur can do. Just gives everything that depth.
Shogun Ito, the greatest gift I ever received.
Is that how you say that, Gaussian? I've only ever seen it written down.
Gaussian? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Gaussian blur? I don't fucking know.
I thought it was Gaussian or something.
Could be. Maybe it's a soft G. Maybe it's Joshin blur.
Fuck that.
I love how they teased she was going to reveal the vajayjay, but she chickened out and told him about Akemi. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, forgot.
She's like, "There's something I should tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to see Akemi again."
I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm a liar. Yeah, I don't know. At a certain point, I think she's also like, I can't believe this guy still hasn't figured it out yet. You know, like there's got to be like that in the back of her mind. Like this guy I'm really passing as a dude, apparently, because nobody is suspecting a thing. All right.
Well, she's got to be around 5'7", 5'8", I would think. But maybe 5'7".
I'd give her a solid 8.9, 9.5, maybe. Oh no, you're talking about her height.
Yeah,
I got it.
I think we did establish the average height was like 5'3", 5'2".
It was 5'2". It was 5'2". Yeah,
because you were bang on with your.
Yeah. That just makes this. It gives this whole show this much more context. The fact that they're like 5'2", and even more so the fact that they're all 15-year-olds. It's like Jesus Christ, you're blowing my mind, Jay.
Yeah, well, you got to put it like this is the 1600s. Like, in people, I know we live in 2024, but
your math checks out. That's why it's alarming.
Yeah, I know there's some knowledge in that brain of mine.
I'm just imagining the camera right here to these people panning to the left, and it's me, you, and amateur sitting Indian style on the other side of the room, and we're like giants. You know, trolls,
we'll have to like tilt our head because it's against the ceiling.
Yeah, we're like, hey, thank you for the tiny little bowl of soup. It's like a shot glass, you know.
Make it look like that room from Willy Wonka where it like gets shorter as you walk through it.
Oh, God, yeah, gods.
I don't know if I can eat this octopus. I don't know where it's been. I've
seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Look, it's like how you have cooking cucumbers and then bedroom cucumbers. You got a cooking octopus and a bedroom octopus, right?
Marinade.
People don't have bedroom cucumbers. All right,
It's glazed. It's glazed.
Well,
now,
you know,
speaking of glazed,
I thought of that because watching this episode, like the Shogun here. The way he acts like a 16, 17-year-old man or an 18-year-old boy, especially with his speech.
That's not the Shogun. Yeah. That's like the son of the Shogun,
right.
Isn't it? The Shogun's the old guy in the middle.
Yeah.
The son of the Shogun. He's supposed to be taking place of like he's next in line.
Yeah. Right? With that receding hairline, good luck.
No, they cut that hair like that on purpose.
Yeah, I know.
What's crazy is he does have this like timid kind of. You realize like this is originally when he kills the bird, you kind of think he's kind of a dick, and then like a few 10 short minutes later, 20 minutes later, kind of does a total 180. 1600s Japan was like the Flintstones, but used octopuses for everything instead of dinosaurs. Oh my God,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's good.
Holy shit.
And this guy knows Akemi really well.
Like they recited poetry together.
Yes.
She's like, it's like she looks familiar, but then again, they all do. Sorry. Now this is the Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Doom part of the film show that I like, where it's like, I don't know, she's trying to like fear factor her new daughter-in-law, and give her all this fertility stuff, So what's the first dish here?
Gemma, we're gonna come back to your question later on. It
was like livers covered in horse semen.
Yummy.
Yes. I just want to quickly mention the colors. Like when we see Mizu, it's very bland. You see the blues, you see the pale browns. It's very bland. When you come to the royalty, it's like vibrant. You get designs. It's like they do it so well. Like it's like such a contrast. Like it's perfect. They did an excellent job with the design, and I'm really excited because getting back to the writing, I wanted to also mention this. Michael Green said, "Well, it's back to get to writing." Him and his wife Amber Nazimi, they're getting right to the script and writing for season 2 and season 3 right away. So I'm like,
holy shit! They haven't started it yet. Jesus.
I bet you they have.
I'm all for it. Dude.
I'd
be more concerned if like the next season was already coming out next year. It's like, remember when like there would be like a 3-year minimum between sequels?
Yeah.
Like it's like I know it's like give it time. Like I'd much rather, have you wait. I'd rather have us wait like a couple years and just have it be a banger as opposed to just like trying to rush
agree.
it out. Unless it's all written already, but
just how the pipeline on Netflix shows works. Usually, like you get a very like demanding schedule, and like you have to keep it or they just cancel you.
Mm-hmm.
So like things like Arcane are an exception because Netflix doesn't pay for it; they're just a distributor. So it's sort of like, yeah, we'll get it to you when it's done. But a show like this is probably being funded by Netflix, I would imagine.
That sucks.
Unless Michael Green's got a lot of Logan money.
It's Obama money. Obama.
He definitely didn't get it from Green Lantern.
Dude, one time me and Meg were at a rave. We were like tripping balls, and I just kept yelling Obama like randomly at like the most awkward, inopportune times. It was one of those inside jokes that we still laugh about today. It's great. Obama. Anyway.
Yeah, so she wolfs down the liver with horse semen, then she drinks the pottage from
fetal pig's blood.
There's also a fox brain for wisdom. That's another thing she has to eat. Chilled fox brain. It's just like monkey brain.
So they're taking all the cute animals and trying to get her to eat the grossest parts.
Yeah, but this is the most offensive one, the birdie, the little tiny bird. Because it's also fucked up because like, amateur, you're a man of cookery. Would you eat a bird this tiny? Seemed like it would be pretty gamey, right? Or would it be like a succulent little flesh ball?
Definitely depend on how it was prepared and how it was raised. But yeah, the little birds can be very gamey. But the cool thing about eating them is it's not like a chicken. The bones are like really forgiving, and you can just plop the whole thing in your mouth and just chew it.
You guys want to know a true story? When I worked at the Irwin Center, we had this little Asian guy that worked with us. He was, I think, Vietnamese. And every day for lunch, he would eat, are you ready for this? An entire rotisserie chicken, bones and cartilage and everything.
Oh, no, you should not eat the bones.
And we were shocked. And he'd be like, well, so I grew up eating it. And we were like, oh, my God.
You should not eat the bones.
I know.
You're going to give yourself like a fucking ulcer.
We tried to tell him. He would eat whole chickens, a whole chicken every day.
Does he have like a fucking problem with his bowels? Because shit's gonna
who knows?
That's like shrapnel for your digestive tract, man. That's terrible. You can grind it up and make
eating it like that. So he must chew his food really well. I don't know. I have no idea.
You can grind up bones and make stock and stuff, or even just boil them down. But like you can't
grind up my bones to make me bread. No, I'm just kidding.
This is a great scene too, as we get to one-liners. The sword maker again, giving Mizu a speech here. Is that so? Like that's his famous. You mentioned that earlier. He's walking along, and I showed you how to be an artist. And he continues to talk about her as a child and how she developed, and she actually stops him from walking off the cliff, and then. I studied the Sutras to cleanse my heart to make good swords. And he talks about how there's a demon inside. Like she talks about how there's a demon, and he talks about how much there's so much hate. It's just a great scene going back and forth. How he's like telling her like there's
swords, pots, noodles, death, bro.
Yeah, there's two demons inside, or two. What is it? Two souls? You think he says?
Yeah.
The demon's taking a seat in.
Yeah. If you do not invite the whole, the demon takes 2 chairs, and your art will suffer.
Yeah. Great line. Great line.
Well, it's that whole Taoism thing, like the balance of everything, right? Chaos and order. Everything comes in pairs. It's kind of a theme with that. It's also like very true in like Japanese philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that much about it, but I do know that's a thing.
Whoa. Ground up bones? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do you snort it or smoke it?
This is a great shot. Like that actually looks like a real ocean. And
really good water effect too.
Yeah. Like Man.
I spend a lot of time on the water, so when I see water done correctly, it's like, nice.
Yeah, I guess
it's fucking hard to do.
What's cool is like if you were doing live action, like you'd be lucky if you had this kind of like, skyscape happening on this kind of weather, this overcast with the beams going through. But with animation, it's like make whatever the hell we want. It's awesome.
A lot of times you would just hire a guy full time to just be out and about for the entire duration of like the making of your film, just like looking for those shots, like B-roll, I guess you'd call that.
Dude, applications are like always so fun. That'd be a fun job.
Used to do that.
Light references are done perfect again. Like it's just really, really, really like how they animate this. Yeah, I know some people have they like have trouble watching it. I think it's done really well. I watched Scavenger's Reign. The animation's not the best, but it's a throwback to the like 70s heavy metal magazine kind of vibe. And it's got, again, great story. It's so twisted and weird, and it's sci-fi. It's sometimes you just got to look past what's in front of you and like just get invested in the story.
Yeah, I do appreciate just the economy of the animation, just like how much character they can bring across, how much performance they can bring across, but they didn't necessarily have to spend shit tons of time doing it because they only had a year, right? And what they've managed to do in a year is pretty crazy. Like it's like the motion's really well done, everything feels intentional, and there's not a single line anywhere that's unnecessary. Which
like
is pretty cool.
This shot's great.
Yeah, like there's like 4 lines on her whole face, and yet they bring across the exact emotion they need to, which is just economy is, I think, the best word for that.
And then this, and that's, I also get to that, beginning with the color scheme. I wanted to say rebirth, because like an egg, you birth from an egg, you could say. And there's a lot of like the main point here is her, realizing that she needs help and she needs to respect the ways of the Japanese culture. And you see the sun rise, like it's all metaphorical, but it's done beautifully.
It's a new dawn. It's like her first actual culmination.
She's feeling fine.
I don't know if it's the first culmination, but it's definitely a culminating moment where like things that she's learned, she understands and brings into practice moving forward.
And then we get into this scene here where she just starts, writing. I forget the term that she uses here. It's the
it's one of the sutras, like emptiness or something.
Yeah. But then they go to Akemi, and again they reference tofu, and you got that color scheme.
Like tofu.
And they bring 2 birds this time.
2 more, since you liked your dinner so much, we brought you breakfast and lunch.
And this is where the Siamese twins, they took it, he meant it as a gift, I'm sorry for the loss, and they of course twist it.
They tease her.
Yeah.
Well, they probably understand the threat that Akemi represents, because like if she comes in there and takes control, then it puts their position in jeopardy. So they kind of have a
why don't you guys just kiss her ass? That's just like the exact opposite of
what no. That's not how this works.
I guess.
Why don't you just kick
fucked up?
Yeah.
Like if this was dudes, we'd be like, "Oh, bro, you're gonna be like the new husband of the chick. Cool, dude. Yeah, we live here too. Yeah, if you ever need anything, bro, we're like right down the hall, man."
I like how she slaps him across the face and then gives like this total Cersei look to the guard. Yeah. It's like, we both know what we saw, but if you say anything,
this is a great 180.
Cut your nuts off.
And then he speaks, and he has a stammer, and she just all of a sudden just like, oh my god.
She's like, I get it.
She says she comes in and she slaps the shit out of him. She's like, "What the hell's your problem?" And he's like, and then he says, then she says, "Speak to me." Like he's like talking to you, like beneath me. And that's when he first like says something to her, and he like stutters. "I'm so sorry for my mother." And then she does the smoothest shit ever, which is when she shuts the door. She's alone with the guy now, and then she just like sits up next to him, and she's like, "Hey, I knew a guy that stuttered too, and he was a fucking genius." And it was because what'd you say? Like his mouth,
tutor.
his mouth his mouse just couldn't keep up with all his thoughts that he had. You know, he was so brilliant.
Mm.
Yeah, what she says is like, you know, is my husband going to forgive me for striking you? Because I didn't realize you meant that gift as sincere.
Yeah,
she's like, I want you to read me poetry because poetry makes me hot.
Yeah,
yeah, that is a thing. She's like, recite for me, baby. That's like her come on line.
I mean, it's so well written. The dialogue and everything is just like, when I hear people talk about this being woke, and I'm just like, you have no idea.
They're missing it. They're missing the point.
You're just labeling anything that has a female lead.
You didn't finish it, probably.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is like I said, it was leaning towards that way.
Well, they probably got to episode 4 and went, I quit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or sooner. Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know how you can get past the first episode with that mentality though. Like, yeah, she wins a fight in the dojo, but like, have they not like laid the groundwork properly? Like, what if they just switch genders? It would be fine, right? Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are we doing here? Is Anakin a Mary Sue? You know, you start getting that shit, and it's like, well, fucking everyone's a Mary Sue if Anakin's a Mary Sue. Jesus Christ.
This is a great scene here where she's just writing this. Yeah.
Go ahead. She also makes Ringo, finish her backside.
I need your help. I can't do it alone.
And this is where Ringo knows her dark, twisted secret, that she's actually a foxy lady. Oh my God. Oh no.
Oh, also what to me. I stutter, so that was a nice ego boost. I'm just a genius. That's all it was.
No, no worries.
Yeah.
I love the movie The King's Speech. Thought it was a good Best Picture winner. But yeah, do you ever try
still
singing?
Haven't seen that one.
It's true. I guess some people like singing what you want to say will help you like not stutter sometimes. And there's some other
well, look at Ozzy Osbourne, man. That guy can't talk, but man, can he sing?
I am not articulate. I'm not articulate at all. I stammer and repeat myself a lot. So like, I am not one to say anything. So.
Neither am I. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm just a guy that
my radio voice for you guys.
Yeah, you got a radio voice.
Yeah, you have the radio voice.
Not to talk any say any likes or ums or curse words. Try not to repeat myself.
Yeah, Gemalama. Anakin actually trained in the Jedi Temple under Jedi Masters for years. So, yeah, that's why Star Wars is shit. Like you a week for Sabine, and she becomes like this great Jedi all of a sudden.
I mean, there's probably a better. Like I just said that because it was a thing that went around for a while, but
that's pretty awesome.
Like actually. Luke Skywalker's more of a Mary Sue than Anakin, so I don't know why they picked Anakin. It's just like he's the only one that actually properly gets trained over a long period of time. Anakin like has a Hard Knocks weekend with Yoda, but I guess he comes back after episode 2. But
Luke goes to Dagobah and he trains with Yoda, and he goes to the gears. Like I wouldn't.
He does after he faces Vader, but like up until that point, you can kind of argue he's more of a. I don't think he is.
Luke doesn't say Vader in New Hope.
I'm just saying the argument sucks.
Dude, the stuff with Yoda on Dagobah, on Empire Strikes Back, it's the best part of all of Star Wars dub.
Yeah, man.
When Yoda lifts the X-Wing, that is not only the best part of the entire fucking 12 movies, it's also the best part of all the soundtracks too. When Yoda lifts the X-Wing.
Yeah, that's an amazing moment.
My favorite part of all the movies, hands down. All the stuff on Dagobah rocks.
Well, it's a cool philosophy, right? Like the Force holds the whole universe together. Like, what's the difference between a rock and a spaceship in comparison to the whole fucking universe? Like, get your head out of your ass, Luke. He's beginning to believe. It's like the Matrix. It's awesome. And John Williams is the king of melody.
This is the hard part.
And we start to lose viewers. The viewers are dropping.
It's so good, dude. I love it.
I know you're a musician just based on how you hit all those notes.
That hits
like
so
you just
hard.
Remembered the melody pitches so perfectly.
I also knew from the moment Sabine struggled to move the coffee cup, she was going to save the day. Yeah, of course. Stupendo, my ears. Yes.
You're welcome.
Give me goosebumps.
And then And then Akemi uses her, her ways to seduce the. Is this the Gosen here, or whatever how we were saying it? Is that we're gonna call
who
him?
and the what now?
The Gosen, the Shogun's son.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Stutterer boy.
His name is Takayoshi.
And they're making love, and
the metaphor of the forging the sword and forging the bond with your new husband.
Yes.
Like, this is how you get on if you're getting in an arranged marriage, like this is a good way to get on your new spouse's good side.
People just talking about Stepenzo singing. This is a great scene too. And then the moment that really takes the cake is when the sword master hands over the pliers, or what do you call it? The tongs. Yeah, thank you.
Got to do the 2 safety clicks.
Yeah, and that's where everything kind of changed.
It's cool because it's the big tongs, like from the beginning. He's like, no, not the little ones. Give me the real tongs. So there's a bit of meaning hidden there too.
Mm-hmm. And then she pulls it out, and she gets the metal. Well, okay.
I don't think Takayoshi pulled out.
Yeah. Oh, and then we're at the fish, the docks, looking at the fish market, and they're looking through the boats, looking for the weapons.
They realize they've been had.
Yeah. And Abijah is just like, when you're done, come follow me. I got a surprise for you.
Yeah, and we see his little member.
Okay. Enzo's killing it tonight. Singing the members, the female ball bag,
everything. Sorry.
And then they bring up 4 men, and they give him a bow and arrow. He's like, yeah, go ahead, shoot it.
Try to hit us.
Yeah, and he ends up short. Abijah brings
he starts disassembling the piano.
What a shame.
Telling him, basically they smuggled all these weapons under your noses, basically, and starts disassembling all this furniture and putting together rifles together.
That's a harpsichord.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's okay. Sorry,
I had to.
No, I appreciate it. But yeah, well, it's like a chandelier part here and little random little bits from this table there, and puts together a rifle. But then he's telling the crazy story about how growing up, how what is he had the thing with his sister, and how first like they I don't know, basically it ends with he had to like eat his sister's kidneys or something at the end of the story, but basically growing up with his parents, like having to eat. What were they eating growing up? They starved. They were eating rats and stuff.
Yeah.
They were chewing nettles. Parents died. Sister and him were eating rats. The rats ran out, and then he fed his sister his blood, which kept her alive for 2 weeks. And then he cut out her kidneys and buried her. And he said, ever since then, I haven't eaten a single meal since. I haven't done a single thing because I had to. Everything I've done since then is because I wanted to. And it's just like, dude.
Yeah, I'm in control of every bite.
Yeah.
Which is just super great cool, because it gives you backstory for the guy, and it it's very good. I love his monologues. They're always great.
Mm-hmm. Well, the church one, the one in the temple, that was the best one, talking to Jesus, like I don't need you, but I'll give you some souls to take.
But he does like the old biblical story thing where he like makes a deal with God. It's like, if you give me what I want, I'll give you what you want.
Yeah.
Which is just it's so many stories like in the Old Testament and stuff. It's fascinating they took that approach.
There's also this great demonstration. This here is like the invention of the atomic bomb, basically.
Yeah.
This rifle to bow and arrow, like when he puts this dude down, and then obviously the rest of the dudes like fire on them. And of course we don't know who the hell these people are. And it's just
those rifles were shit at that point, but
they got
still
the
better
job
than a
done.
bow.
Yeah, still got the job done.
If you had enough of them, you could hit your target. But
and then you see this guy is the guy that was at the dinner table earlier. See if I can grab it here.
Looks like he's part of the Trade Federation.
Like we said before, I think you could get away with playing this show, but it's Chiba, the guy who we don't know who he is or what he does, what his relationship with anyone is. We know he's the guy who didn't like the cottage cheese.
He might just be an informant, just like playing both sides.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, I mean, that's technically what one-armed guy is doing, and I mean, this is kind of him almost getting busted, but he realizes like, oh no, this guy was a bad news. So now you got his troops, and now you're going to be doing his job. You're going to be the new inside man, basically. You got a promotion.
I think he's showing this to Haiji because he doesn't really have a reason for doing this ceremony, and this is why I suspect that Fowler always knew, because Fowler's just showing Haiji like, I am so in control, and you think you're scheming behind me, and this is just a total power move. He's not acknowledging the fact that he knows, but he's like telling him that he knows in like a very subtle, sophisticated, and very intimidating way.
Also, he saw the rifles. The rifles are here, and the rifles are killing machines. So it's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, and you finally see expression from Haiji here.
Yeah,
he's
looks
like,
afraid.
oh. Yeah,
like, what have I done?
He's finally got the upper hand.
So well done.
Abijah. Or he's finally admitting that he has the upper hand.
Maybe you can take his thumbs.
Yeah. That was a great line. Like, so many great lines in this series. Like, it's just unreal. Mizu brings back the medal that she forms and says, you can build a sword when I come back, when I'm finished my task.
How do they know that shit's not radioactive, by the way? Some blue hard shit that came from space. Like, that could be cobalt, man.
They'll learn.
Where's the Geiger counter?
They get mutant powers.
Maybe that's why she's so powerful.
Sword father.
Good. If I succeed and still alive, I will return.
I mean, that kind of goes without saying.
That light coming through is just perfect. That's such a great scene.
Yeah, I love how instead of just lighting the whole room like so many animators would, they're just like, no, natural light.
Dude,
let's go Kubrick on this shit.
Just put a decent bed in this house and some internet and a store nearby. I would live in this house for the rest of my life. I have no problem living in a tiny cave. Like I said, I just need internet and an HEB nearby. I don't give a shit what that's all I need. I'll figure out the rest.
And then we get the innocence of Ringo again to top it off. I must follow my master.
He's like, I knew you were excited to teach me, but master needs me.
Do you think do you think he's just being like high level comedy there, or do you think he's just that oblivious?
Oh, he's a simpleton. He's a simpleton. Yeah.
Silly guy.
Yeah. Simple Jack. He's another character that goes 180 in this episode, because in the beginning of the episode he's ignoring Mizu. He doesn't want anything to do with Mizu. Like, he's just kind of like,
see, I'm one of those guys that I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I assume when someone's acting like a dumbass, they're just pretending to be dumb, or they're trying to, like, I would just, like Ringo, like with him saying that, I'd be like, what's your deal, dude? Like, you're fucking with me, right? That's what you're doing, right? Because if you're fucking with me,
fucking with him,
yeah, no. I know, but that's how I think. Like, I'm just like, you're fucking with me, right? Because if you are, it's funny, but if not, damn.
The way I like to think about it is the writers are using him as a shield to fuck with you. So,
right.
Uncle Richie, can I live in the room above the garage?
Oh my
god. You weren't here for the first couple episodes where we discussed it, and Amateur, you brought it up. You think he's kind of like a little slow. He's touched.
Oh, he's downsy for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Because if it was autistic, he'd
What's
be
up,
not so
Eraserhead?
social.
Joining us.
You could say that he is illustrated that way, with that face.
Yeah,
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
he's making the best of it, which is
the no hands, like the development, probably being born, probably like fetal alcohol or something.
Dude, that does make me wish he does get sword hands or something later, because You know, here's the thing. Look, those people. I mean, I got a friend, Carlos, who had a little brother named Johnny. He was like, we were like 12 or 13, and he was what, like 7 or 8. This kid was so strong, dude. It was insane. Like that is a real thing. Like they are insanely powerful. It's crazy, dude. We used to play basketball with him, him and his little brother, dude. And dude, this guy, dude, he was like 8 years old. Like he's ripped. It was insane. Cool stuff.
Yeah. Great scene here. Great scene.
You got the Donkey Shrek thing again. I'm on my
yes,
way to
right
misery
back to the
and
beginning.
happiness to be.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Great scene. Yeah, right back to the first episode, eh? Like just
Yeah.
It was dark. Like the
It's
first
spring
time
now,
they
though.
Yes. It's a whole new relationship. Everything's a new beginning. Akemi kind of tells the Siamese twins to take a leap.
Yeah.
And you're not needed anymore. They're kind of in shock.
Pack your bags, hoes.
Yeah. And then she brings in, speaking of hose, she brings her hose back. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants come in, and they are kind of surprised by this. And like, look at all that bouillon. Yeah.
We're going to buy all your contracts. Like,
that's a lot of moolah.
Mm-hmm. And she wants people that she can trust. And they're all excited. They look to Madame Kaji, and she's just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, bitches. And they're all excited. But the one girl is starts crying. Mole face, yeah. Well, nose face.
Right. Oh, gosh. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
The brown eye samurai.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
literally. Yeah, she is.
I told you we were going to joke about that the most, that part of the show.
Hey, man, butt jokes are funny.
Yeah. But no, yeah, that's a good little turn where she feels sorry. She's like, oh, my God, that was nothing but I was a real see you next Tuesday to you. It's not, why are you doing this? It's like, what's your deal?
Blame me for what? What is happening in chat?
I don't know.
It's the Gooch Army. Let's let them be. So yeah, they go. Then she tells them about Abijah and how he's got all these men with rifles and they're going to be coming and taking over. They tell the Lord, her father, and here it is with the guns.
She heard this. It's like, how did you hear this? Well, I don't want to get into the specifics of it, but I just heard him talk about it. I don't
Never mind what I was doing.
It's like prove to us that you heard this. It's like I can draw you Abijah's gooch. I know exactly what it looks like. Okay? I've seen it.
Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah. You don't even need that long. And then obviously you can see where this is going. He's like, guiding her to the window, and he just throws her right off.
Hey, look, it says gullible on the ground over there.
It's like, hey, I want you to check this out. This is pretty cool over here. It reminded me of Braveheart. What's it, Longshanks?
Yeah,
throwing his little husband's boyfriend out of the window. Who is this person that is speaking to me as if I need to hear what they're saying? It's like, oh yeah, thanks for that information. This is very important. And then right out the window, and also exactly mimicking the shot earlier.
Look at the look on his face.
It's a bad decay.
Oh, that's not decay.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah.
The animators really nail facial expressions.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, it's very minimal lines, very minimal line work, but yet extremely expressive characters.
Yeah, without even using that much facial motion either. Like, there's no crazy rigging or anything like in Arcane. It's just super basic, like old school dragging keyframes around, which is crazy how they made it so fast.
Yeah, definitely end this episode on a banger with like a double cross, plot twist, and a big old, what's the word I'm looking for? Cliffhanger.
Yeah. Well, it would have been kind of dumb if they didn't give this guy an ulterior blah, blah, that word, a motive that no one else knew about. Because, like, he came from nothing and he built their house through his own ambition. So the fact he wouldn't try to take advantage of this situation, if they didn't do that, it would have, they would have missed out on something, I think. Hey, Cannoli's here.
Yo, Cannoli, what's up there, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Go, people in chat and people that watch this show afterwards, and we get some pretty good numbers after this, the next day and the following weeks. Go check out Cannoli Sasquatch's channel, please. He's got a great channel over there. Him and his wife Sassy, they put on great content. And Monday nights they have show.
Zodiac Monday.
Zodiac on Monday. Yeah, go check them out. It's a lot of fun. So, and he's my Shiko brother. So, and Copa's are Shiko Sensei. So yeah, that was episode 7, and so we're going into episode 8.
The finale.
The finale.
What is a Shiko brother?
Oh, I have you seen Sanctuary?
No.
Oh, whoa! You haven't seen a film? I find that hard to believe.
Sanctuary is a series on Netflix. It's about a samurai or a sumo wrestler.
No, I'm looking. I started looking it up. The first thing I see is like a fat Asian man's ass.
Oh yeah, it's and so this is right up your alley, buddy. You need to watch that.
In a manner of speaking,
is it actually Asian?
Yeah,
dope.
It's.
Here's the thing. I know that.
I'm looking
Japanese,
at the wrong thing.
Especially Japanese, but I know Asian style humor is an acquired taste. I love it. Some of my favorite comedies are Asian movies. And I don't know if the show is funny or not, but like I just
it's hilarious.
Okay,
it's great.
All right, great. Because I love, dude. One of my favorite movies is The God of Cookery. If you guys haven't seen that, I think it's Chinese, that movie. But if you guys haven't seen The God of Cookery, if you, dude, amateur, you are a cook, you like to cook. If you guys like to cook, watch that movie. It's hilarious.
Yeah, lots of cake in this movie. Yes.
Yeah. Also,
some would say too much.
The first episode, you'll be like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and watch this. You'll
this
enjoy
is one of those episodes where just speaking of food, it's like this episode kind of makes you hungry. That little bird did look delicious, even though it's a drawing.
Nice crunchy sound.
I thought the liver with the
the horse semen.
Yeah, horse semen would be
Fear Factor stuff. I would have done it.
There is a question that Gemma Lama asked. I want to get to it here. I have something about the animation I want to talk about. I'll wait to finish the episode. Gemma Lama, do you have that question for us? Are you? You should still be there. You go ahead and ask about the animation. I'm just excited for season 2, and I'm hoping 3 and 4. And they actually said there's other stories they're side stories that they could develop as well. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Cool. I had a comment about the animation. Yes, we know.
Yep, we're just waiting on the comment. You actually had a question.
Maybe that is the comment. Okay. Maybe he's getting meta.
That's super dry deadpan humor.
Woman? I don't know.
I don't know either.
We're calling him dude and bro. He might be.
Hey, it's YouTube. It's 95% male. If you say dude and bro, you're right most of the time.
Yeah.
I say that when I was a paramedic, I said that to women. I was like, dude, and like they just laughed at me because
Jamalama surfs. All right, is a dude.
Oh, I've mentioned I surf. I've been around the ocean all my life. I'm getting there.
Okay.
Like we're edging. We're edging now.
Yeah, there's like a 30-second delay, So or a minute delay or whatever the hell. I thought it was way less than that. I thought it was like 5 seconds or something.
Yeah, it's only a few seconds.
It's like 5 or 6 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, I think some of that might actually be intentional. So if you're like a producer or whatever, you can cut shit before everyone sees it.
Of course.
If you have that Elgato Stream Deck thing with the fancy buttons.
So I had a question, and I was going to mention we already kind of talked about it, about this being Jamalama in episode 1 or 2, she's fighting the Fang dudes on the same rocks on the ocean.
Yeah, on the cliff at the end of episode 2.
Yep.
I'm
getting there too. Yeah.
About being a Mary Sue, and I would not consider this character a Mary Sue at all.
I mean, they're flirting with it at points, but
yeah.
I think they come around and sort of, they lay the groundwork for her not to be a Mary Sue. But
Andrew talks about the dodging of the bullet, and I want to say that's intentionally put there because she gets shot the first time, so she knows what to expect from the gun the second time, where it's an unknown weapon for this land, right? So
yeah,
I think that's why they put that in there. I could be totally wrong. The way the waves splash up against the rocks is exactly how it works, and I was so impressed by that. Yeah, that's I'm breathing heavy now. Awesome, you're killing us tonight. It's the animation's done really, really well. I mean, it's not Arcane level. Arcane, I think, is the elite when it comes to animation and when it comes to everything. I think this is a very close second, a very, very close second.
I don't know about that. I've been going over both of them. I think there's just so much more time in bigger groups of animators. This is great. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. And you can't really do much better with the time and the budget.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been sort of falling down a rabbit hole of the Arcane animation because I'm working on a video about it right now.
I'm sure we could show a few seconds of this, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, we get the second splash. It's really high.
Oh, yeah. That looks good.
They always, in this show, at least, they do a lot of, they'll have people acted out on a lighting stage or a sound stage, and then they'll take pictures of it, and then they'll use that as reference. Arcane animation ain't that good. You can leave, sir. It's probably the best animation ever done.
Yeah.
Another thing that's done quite similar is I don't know if you ever saw, was it Klaus or Klaus, the sort of independent animation studio. It's like an origin story of Santa Claus. The animation in that is it's sort of taking the approach of marrying the old school 2D and 3D background thing and sort of cleverly matching that together to try to get that feel of old animation back, but using all the techniques of CG animation. And I think that one is at least a couple steps above, in terms of comparing it to Arcane, it's at least a couple steps above this.
So he's saying Klaus is better than Arcane.
No, fuck no, it's not, because Klaus uses a fucking lighting engine, so that's cheating as far as I'm concerned. Whereas Arcane is all done by hand. It's done on a computer, but it's painted.
Looking at Arcane right now, and Arcane looks like weird. It looks like I'm hard to describe. Dude, it's like paintings. It says paintings.
Yeah,
it's almost like a Snapchat filter on a painting, kind of. But they do look like they're canvas paintings. But the way they move is it does.
The facial rigging is insane, and I could some people could see that as uncanny, but if you compare it to motion cap, it's way better than motion cap.
Yeah, Archer. Abrini actually worked on Archer. I talked to her about that.
She's cool.
Yes, she's very cool. She was on my channel. I've been on her channel. She's a great individual. She's a sweetheart.
Definitely in another world, but
she's got tons of knowledge that she deserves everything that she's getting.
All those early Adult Swim shows were animated so crudely but amazingly, with the rigging, and they're done in After Effects and those kind of programs, and it looks so weird and cool and funny.
Well, you ask any animator, the two hardest things in animation are face riggings and walking cycles.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So if you have a show that can do both, you've won.
Yeah.
And you look at something like South Park, they literally just ding, 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 they're paper cutouts essentially.
Yeah,
so they're just slamming the whole thing around. And you go back to Dexter's Lab where his feet are just shuffling, and then you go to something like Arcane, where you have Buddy on a side-scrolling shot, developing and learning how to run. I don't know if you know what scene I'm talking about, Victor, when he's when he like finally can walk again because of the hex gem or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like learning how to run, and it looks like some mocap stage acting. No. This is the animators showing off how fucking good they are.
Yeah.
And it puts like Disney and DreamWorks into a lot of ways, puts them to shame because it's just so much more real looking.
Well, like, even Toy Story, if you look at Toy Story, and as much as I love that movie because it's, you know, nostalgia for me, and
yeah, it's aged very poorly because it was a limitation of the computers. Like
very choppy. Like
it's also not great. Sometimes it's not great to rotoscope stuff because, like, you know, you want those exaggerated forms like in comic books. Like if you just trace everything,
and that's where mocap can fall short too. Like you look at Polar Express, which is completely mocap. It's fucking terrible. It's uncanny valley as hell.
I'll check it out. How can the what are you talking about? The one with
how can the interview?
Maybe they're talking with each other, or
no, I think he's asking.
Oh, the animation Archer. How can you find the interview with the Archer person?
Oh, with Rini. That's I have her. It should be on in my videos there, on the live videos.
Oh, Rini draws.
Rini is she's worked on Archer. She's worked on a lot of animation. She has her books out on. She does all the artwork for her book. She's like an uber talented woman. Like she wrote it. She's did everything on her own. Like she worked on Marvel. She's like uber talented. Very, very talented. And a great person. I think I'll see if I can get her back on. I'll ask her if she would come on. She usually streams on Thursday, but I'll see if I can get her on for either Arcane or for next week. I'll ask her. There's no harm in that, but she's busy. She's very, 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 very busy. But
yeah, you're talking about Irene Stikowski?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I call her. Yeah, everyone calls her Rini.
I know her. I'm a fan of hers. I don't know her. I'm a fan of hers.
She's great. She's great. I got to know her this year, or I guess 2023.
So you're saying she worked on Archer? That's cool.
Yeah, she worked on Archer. Yeah,
makes sense.
I never got into that show. Let's probably give it another.
Archer's
chance.
Great. I love Archer.
I love the what was it when that supplemental thing where Alton Brown tries to make the Eggs Woodhouse. It's like a little like bonus feature short, like it's animated, but it's like Alton Brown comes in. He's like, I'm going to show you the Eggs Woodhouse. Eggs Woodhouse is obviously what Archer eats every morning. And he's like, yeah, this is what you'd call like a cholesterol Katrina. It basically has like hollandaise sauce, cream spinach, like all this rich stuff and like caviar and for crazy. It's basically like, it's not good for you. It's like it's super rich. I would only recommend eating it on the special occasions. And Archer's like drunk arguing with Alton Brown. It's very funny. Good stuff.
Here, guys, I'll bring it up. My videos.
Show us.
It was a great interview. One of my favorites. God, I've done over 100 interviews, so let me.
And I was watching a stream, and somebody, like a Twitch stream, I just sort of had it going in the background. And I was doing something, and Buddy,
it's on my channel. Yeah,
Buddy donated 10,000 bits to get like his website shouted out on this big stream, and because he put a link in it, it got immediately blocked. So he gave him like the equivalent of like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get his like internet website or whatever off the ground, and it just immediately got blocked. I thought that was the funniest shit ever. I don't know if YouTube does that. Do they block comments with links?
Yeah. I mean, in the chat, you can put links in the chat. I don't think you could put links like in your comment section though.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's in there, guys. I got tons of interviews in there.
Fiendish. That was the name of the book. Okay.
Yeah, Fiendish.
Day mode. How dare you?
I guess I'm racist.
The white supremacy of his browser.
Oh,
I don't know about the dark mode, day mode, night mode, whatever.
Yeah.
I have everything night mode. I have Windows night mode.
I also have interviews with Pete Samedi and everyone. I have one with Amateur on here, and I'll be doing one with Enzo in the near future.
Yay!
Yeah, so, that one with me is cringe as fuck. Don't watch it.
That was fun. What are you talking about? I had a blast. That was a lot of fun, dude.
It's like my first time on stream talking unscripted. It's like
it was a good interview, dude. We got to know you. You talked a lot about your video, Arcane and Top Gun and Iron Giant. It was great.
The Iron Giant, love it.
It's a great movie.
I just had one last night with Lance. Go check that out as well.
Yeah, I listened to that one. That was a fun one.
Yeah,
Lance. That's the other thing. Is like, I mean, I'm basically like gonna be regular on Lance's channel. I figure I should, get to know him a little bit, but not do the awkward like ask him all this stuff. I should just know this stuff. I should just show up and be like, "Hey, Lance, know all your story, man. Your history. It's cool."
That book, Iron Giant, is great. That book is fantastic, and I'm going to be buying his other book, Diamonds in the Sky, as well. He's it was a great read. I read it in a few hours, and
way different than the movie, but similar enough. These guys are just trying to trigger me in the chat. Iron Giant better than Arcane? Okay, maybe.
I interviewed Narwhal's. I interviewed EVS, Malin.
I was actually on Narwhal's channel one time to talk about Lonesome Dove, and it was very funny because, like, I'm a fan of Narwhal, and I follow him on Twitter, and he just put out on one day, like, "Hey, who wants to talk about Lonesome Dove?" And I was like, my father is like a literal cowboy, all right? He shot, like, black powder guns recreationally. I definitely know and love Lonesome Dove and all these great Westerns, and I could totally talk about Lonesome Dove at length. And he's like, "Great, man." He messaged me. He's like, "I'll put you on, man. Hell yeah." I was like, "Cool." And we get on there, and it's like me and him and one other guy who's never seen the.
Sorry, I have to interrupt. You've never seen the Iron Giant?
Watch that one and The Incredibles. Those two back to back, and Ratatouille. All three of those are.
Make sure you have a Kleenex box with you when you watch the Iron Giant, though.
Yeah, Iron Giant.
That one hits, man.
I love that movie.
Clean Xbox? What the hell does that mean?
What?
Oh, a clean Xbox. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Tissue box.
Make sure you have a clean
Is that a brand
Xbox.
thing?
I thought you said a clean Xbox. I was like, what the hell does that mean? Like the video game machine? I see what you're saying. Okay. I'm stupid.
You're talking about Lonesome Dove.
Oh, Narwhal. Yeah, I show up on Narwhal's channel, and it turns out that I'm way over prepared. And like we only talk about Lonesome Dove for like an hour and a half. And I was like, oh man, I was barely like getting my juices flowing on that one, man. I was down to talk about Lonesome Dove for like 5 hours. We need to do a part 2 on that one. But it's funny because the other person on the panel hadn't seen it or read it. He was just there to like hang out. And I was like, cool. So I felt kind of like I was the one out of place here. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Well, getting back to this, I'm gonna reach out again to Brian Kissinger, see if I can get him. He's the character designer and oh god, my brain farts here.
Art director, animation director.
Yeah, animation director. See, this is the foggy brain we're talking about in the background.
Yeah, I got the same shit. It's good we're both here.
Yeah, thank you.
We're both firing on one cylinder, but
yeah, thank you, buddy. And then I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna reach out to Amber Nuzumi and Michael Green and see the possibilities of getting them on here.
I've been probing Michael Green, but he just doesn't answer. So
I know I've been trying.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I'm sure his inbox.
He likes and retweets a lot of my stuff, so I'm just.
That's step one, baby.
Yeah.
You're living in his head now. You just got to like have that well-timed DM where it's just like, hey man, do you be interested in coming on the show?
If Brian, Amber, or Michael, if you do watch our breakdowns, and yes, we're just a couple clowns in here, but we love the series. I would love it. I can only speak for myself, but I would love it for you guys to come on and actually discuss this and get your opinions, or not your opinions, get your takes and like the facts. It'd be great. I still have a lot of other people I'm bringing in, but I'd make time, So, and of course, I'd bring my fellow Blue Eye Samurai Gooch party with me. So
nice.
Yes. Is there anything you guys want to say before we kind of close it out for the night?
No. I had a great time talking about this great episode.
We're gonna rank it.
No, we should rank them all after, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So let's go around the horn quickly. Amateur, what you got coming up this week? Anything?
This week, again, as far as YouTube's concerned, nothing. Thank God, because I'm very, very busy. Got 2 videos still working on. I haven't touched either of them in days because of, Christmas, birthday, New Year's, bunch of stuff happened. But
I was going to say something, but you said it. So everybody, wish the man a happy birthday. Amateur, you had a birthday, so
what?
Happy birthday, buddy. Well, let's not say when. Let's not say when.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Amateur busy defending Arcane. The lion does not care about the opinions of the sheep, sir.
So, are you a Sagittarius then?
What? Oh, you're talking about astrology?
Or are you a Capricorn? I don't know this stuff.
Neither do I. I know enough that I'm a Capricorn. That's about it.
Well, happy birthday, buddy. You just turned 18. It's great. I'm happy.
I can almost drink legally.
Well, if you're in Manitoba, you could.
Yeah, you can drink an 18 when you're in Canada, right?
You can in Quebec. Everywhere else is 19.
Oh, okay.
Bizarre. And then the States, it's 21, which is like, what are we doing?
It's 18. It's 18 here in Manitoba.
Is it?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Quebec's closer, so.
Yeah, there you go.
And they got better restaurants. No offense.
Enzo, what do you got going on, buddy?
I might still show up on the Slight Tomfoolery this week for the first time. I don't know what channel that's going to be on. Bag Faces or actually Andrew.
Oh shit! I actually forgot. I'm on.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm on their show on the 7th. That is Saturday. No, Sunday.
Sunday night.
Oh, it's 7th. Oh, I have it marked as a 6th, so I'll change my. I just put a calendar. Thank you for telling me. All right.
Yeah, I'm on that. I forgot about that totally.
Yeah, so that'll be Sunday.
Until this very moment, which would have been embarrassing.
And then I guess Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, same stuff I always do. My channel, Blue Collar Losers channel, Lance's channel. I think this Tuesday, though, the 9th, I'm going to be on Gord King's channel, I think with Lance, to talk about top movies of the 70s.
So yes.
We're going to try to not bring up the same 10 movies over and over again.
Whose channel is that?
Gord King's. Gord King's starting to stream on Tuesdays.
I think he I don't want to say. I think he mentioned.
He probably did. He probably did.
I think he did because I love the 70s movies, man. They're so good.
I like a lot of them. Yeah.
They're
very honest. It's way before the corporate shit took over, but
what my favorite 70s movie is, and I'll talk about it more, is the fucking I love Sorcerer. William Friedkin's Sorcerer movie. I love that movie so much. Damn, it's a good one. What about you guys? What are your favorite 70s movies?
Well, Rocky's my go-to.
Rocky. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we're all gonna have Rocky, Willy Wonka, The Exorcist is gonna be on my list. There's so many of these because the 70s were kind of shitty. There's some really good ones, and then a whole lot of exploitation and crazy pushing boundary stuff, and a lot of rougher on the edges type movies coming out then in the 70s, and but then you got stuff like Network and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And,
Close Encounters is great.
Duel's one of my favorite Spielberg movies. I think.
Oh yeah,
second movie.
The car scenes are good. The chase scenes are great.
Still, so that movie has just as much impact today as it does, 50 years ago. So many good ones.
Lance does rock, dude. And that's it. And then you're back here next Thursday for
So that'll be
the
fun.
Final episode,
and we'll have some fun with it. As for myself, I will be tomorrow night. I think I'm supposed to be somewhere, but I don't know where. But
tomorrow's Friday, the 5th.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Oh my God, I gotta take.
Well, let us know because we might be there too. We don't know.
Yeah, I know. Saturday, as always, I'll be on Saturday Night Hypnosis. I'll be with Hypnotic and the crew there. Have a lot of fun as we talk pop culture. Go check them out. Hypnotic's a great guy. Really thankful to meet him along with these two guys here. Sunday night, I'll be with these two guys on Bag Faces or Andrew's channel. I think it's Andrew's channel.
Yeah, I think it's Andrew's channel.
Yeah,
he's the one that reached out.
Yeah, and we'll be going on there and talking about 2024, the movies coming out and everything that's going to be put out into the streams, into the theaters. Tuesday, I am not doing anything Tuesday. Wednesday, I have the Coach MC coming on. I'll be interviewing him on Wednesday. It'll be a great episode. The coach is great. He's an acting coach. He's an actor. He has his own channel. He does a lot of life lessons. He great personality, great guy. I'm going to have fun with that. And then Thursday, I will be with these guys doing episode 8, the Blue Eye Samurai. And I think that's it. I could be wrong. I'm getting around. I'll be around in the streams. I want to thank everybody for coming into the chat and watching us talk about or listening to us talk about these shows. It's awesome that you guys do that.
Yeah, chat's been great today.
Yeah, you guys are dope. I promise I'll sing better next time.
The chat's awesome every time. You guys are great. I love you guys. Gooch Army, go. Yeah, and I guess we'll see you guys. I guess next week, same time, same channel. Everyone, please take care. Look out for us. Go check out the streams. Have a great night. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.